Gloria swept into the kitchen wearing a sleek black dress I'd never seen before. The hem caught the light with every step, flickering like a silent alarm. She tilted her head slightly, her smile razor-thin. "Got a date tonight," she said, voice light, almost playful. "Try not to be jealous, Francis." For a moment, I couldn't breathe. 22 years of marriage unraveled in a single sentence, in that casual grin. I should have screamed, thrown something, demanded answers, anything. But all I could say was, "Can't wait to see how you explain that to your sister tomorrow." Her face drained of color. A tiny fracture had formed. 8 hours later, I was in my office above the dive shop, a glass of bourbon glowing like rust in the lamplight. Divers are trained not to panic. Panic drowns you. I logged into our joint bank account. 3 identical $300 cash withdrawals. A hotel receipt from Wilmington. A lingerie boutique purchase. A trail carefully hidden, but there. She had financed the betrayal with money we saved for retirement. I drove to that hotel before sunrise. The clerk took one look at Gloria's photo and nodded. "Oh, Mrs. Donegal? Always books the ocean view with Mr. Marcus Webb." Marcus. A former diving student I'd blacklisted for secretly photographing women in wetsuits. Now he was photographing my wife, with nothing on. Rage surged through me, but I held it down. Anger is blunt. Evidence is a blade. I called Tommy Rodriguez, my old Navy buddy, now a private investigator. "Don't go after her," he warned. "Cornered people burn the whole house down. Let's gather facts." We installed a hidden camera inside the living room vent, a voice recorder under the Jeep's dash. I requested 6 months of financial records on Rush. Each morning, Gloria smiled and poured my coffee while I quietly recorded the corpse of our marriage. Tommy's first report hit like a detonation. She'd forged my name on a second mortgage, $200,000, using our dive shop as collateral. The money was already offshored. Worse, Marcus no longer held a valid real estate license. He operated in shadows now, with favors flowing to Detective Ray Morrison, the dirtiest badge in Wilmington. Gloria thought she was untouchable. I hired Robert Chin, a Navy vet turned attorney who still fought with legal filings like they were grenades. He froze every joint account before lunch. By nightfall, Gloria walked through the door carrying designer bags and a smug calm that made my skin crawl. She thought the worst had passed. She had no idea the FBI was already tracking every purchase down to the ribbon on her luggage. Agent Sarah Martinez met me at a roadside diner, sharp suit, eyes clearer than the horizon. The Bureau had been monitoring Marcus for months. Property scams, laundering, even whispers of drugs moving through dive tours. Gloria's forged mortgage completed their puzzle. "Act normal," Martinez said. "Let her feel safe. Then we close the trap." That Thursday, Gloria kissed me goodbye, claiming she was headed to a spa for the weekend. As her taillights disappeared, I called Martinez and headed for the Ocean View restaurant, just blocks from her mother's cottage. Elizabeth, her mother, agreed to help. Stoic and shattered, she invited Gloria to a family dinner under the guise of a health scare. At 7:31 p.m., Gloria walked in expecting a sob story. Instead, she found me, her mother, her brother, and 4 sealed envelopes. "Sit," I said. The room buzzed with quiet tension. Envelope 1, bank statements. Envelope 2, the fake mortgage. Envelope 3, photographs with Marcus. Envelope 4, Detective Morrison pocketing a bribe. Her confidence dissolved like salt in the sea. Then Agent Martinez stepped from the shadows, flashing her badge. "Gloria Donegal, you're under arrest for bank fraud, forgery, and conspiracy." The cuffs locked with a sound like a trigger pulling. But there was more. Marcus had written a backup plan. One that ended with me dead at the bottom of the ocean. In jail, Gloria finally broke. He had planned to sabotage my air tanks, stage it as a diving accident, and vanish with the money and a new identity. She refused to go along with murder, but she hadn't refused theft. Her confession triggered a chain reaction. 6 arrests in 2 days, including Detective Morrison. But the rabbit hole went deeper. Beneath the coral reefs I guided tourists through, the FBI found containers tied to the drug trade. Captain Jennifer Walsh of the Coast Guard Investigative Service reached out. Who better to expose a smuggling ring than the dive instructor they'd tried to eliminate? For 3 intense weeks, I led covert dives, marking locations where crates disguised as reef structures held weapons and contraband. 17 caches were recovered, along with Marcus ledgers. Each crate we brought up felt like a sealed coffin that had narrowly missed my name. 9 months later, the sun rose over the Atlantic, casting golden streaks across the water. My business, Deep Blue Adventures, had once been risked in secret. Now it thrived, with clients eager to learn from the man who took down a cartel. Elizabeth managed the front desk. Steady and quiet, she kept the ship afloat. That afternoon, Agent Martinez's sister, Rebecca, visited with a suggestion: speak to men who had lost everything to betrayal. At the first support meeting in Raleigh, 12 men looked to me like castaways searching for land. How do you trust again? One asked. You don't begin with trust, I replied. You start with facts. You watch someone's choices stack like coral, until one day, they form something you can stand on. For the first time, I saw hope in their eyes. Back on the deck of my new boat, named Truth Seeker, I trained Amanda Wells, a marine biologist who'd been scammed out of her research funds. She trembled, fumbling with her regulator. Fear's not your enemy, I told her. It keeps you alert. Underwater, the ocean strips every lie away. What's left is who you decide to be. We dove together. Sunlight filtered through the surface in golden shafts, falling across an artificial reef built from confiscated crates, evidence now reborn as shelter. Amanda resurfaced laughing, water sparkling on her cheeks like forgiveness. I realized something that day. Vengeance had gotten me this far, but purpose would carry me forward. That evening, a letter arrived from the State Attorney General. Commendation for outstanding service. Recommendation for a federal role. I traced the seal, thinking of a black dress, a smile sharp as glass, and the moment my world cracked open. Storms still gather past the horizon. But I'm not afraid anymore. I learned how to breathe in the dark, and I can teach others how to do the same.